And now a tale of fan fiction by the Queen, when she gets her hair out of her mouth. Here we are. A little story by Frenzy Lover on Reddit. It was noon in rainy Bristol, University West of England, and your coach journey had been long. You had been stood in a hallway for almost an hour when Marshall finally came round to tell you where you'd be in the pits. You clutched your precious beetle-weight carrying case, Razor 2 safely nestled inside, clutching it to your chest, nervous but excited. This was Bugglebot's Extreme after all, a highly regarded event. "You'll be sat beside Oobotics and the Berg over there," Marshall said, because he's a marshal. He gestured towards a table in the uni classroom that had been repurposed as the pits, where two men sat chatting to each other loudly and joyfully. Marshall then dabbed his way down the corridor, never to be seen again. You could see that your two pitmates were comparing their significantly better built beetles, and your cheeks began to warm up in fear. One wore a Hawaiian shirt and was cheerfully discussing batteries with the other, who donned a team shirt for Oobotics. You sit gently at your place on the table, giving each a shy but knowing smile before beginning to tinker, head down. You take Razor 2 out of its box, being careful not to knock the thin plastic arm ornament. Your hands shake a bit as you begin to readjust the lipo inside the small bot. You can hear them talking about using far better gears, but you don't pay it any mind. You are sure Razor 2 will be fine. You are the reader, and readers never fail. Just listening to them, you learn their names. The snazzy-shirted louder one was Charlie from the Berg, and the team-shirted one from Gus. Oh, someone's writing needs some help here. And the team-shirted... here we go, try again. And the team-shirted one was Gus from Team OO. That's him over there, cooking my dinner. So I'm terribly sorry. Where were we? Something about Gus. Where were we? It took you a moment to realise, but Gus's voice was so beautiful, like it could say "stop" and deactivate robots to you at any night before bed, and you would never get bored. Gus, say "stop" and deactivate robots.
Stop and deactivate robots.
Isn't that lovely? Anyway. Shaking away your daydreamy thoughts, you focus on preparing your robot for battle, silently listening in to the other two. "Charlie, you're a cunt. Wedges always win." "Nah, fam, spinner. Wedges are shit," they debated eloquently. They had such a way with words, both of them. After a few minutes of tinker time, Razor 2 was ready. That was when one of the event organisers walked in and shouted out, "Okay, three-way rumble for Heat 1, Big Wedge Energy 2, Electric Wedgeloo, Detonator, and Razor 2, he called, prompting a large red-headed woman in the corner to stand with a green-domed robot and Gus to stand up and pick up his wedgie bot. You took a deep breath and pick up your glorified Hexbug toy. It was time to fight. I've lost my place again. Hang on. There we are. Entering the arena, you took note of the camera and the crowd, all of which added to your nerves. You placed down your robot in the fighting box and drove it into place as the host introduces you all. You clutched your transmitter with nervous hands, not just for the battle, but because Gus was stood inches behind you. 9 inches to be precise. Just gonna make no comment at that one. The battle went as expected. The tall woman's dome robot refused to move. Something about having forgotten batteries and your undying and burning love for Gus forced you to make several mistakes that he capitalised on. Razor 2 was well and truly defeated, leaving the win to Gus. You don't mind. Making him happy made you happy. The crowd erupted, Michael Oates style, in applause for the victorious wedge. On the way back to the pits, Gus stopped you. His soft hand on your shoulder felt just right. He gestured for you to follow him back to the arena, where the crowd had now dispersed for lunch, so it was only the two of you and his robot, which he pointed at firmly. Thoughts of the loss and the overwhelming nature of being alone with him made your eyes begin to water. Not that, actually, it's the onions he's been cooking. He looked you directly in the eyes, your heart pounding at higher speeds than pulsar could spin. He truly was the prettiest boy. His hand brushed a tear off your cheek, then he spoke a single word, but at that moment it was sealed. He had your heart.
Wedge.